This is Hino's Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. Now let's talk about it, man. Because Hino's Sport feels that he has to talk about this. Back in 2003, Michael Jeffrey Jordan goated Kobe Bean Bryant. Let me say it again. Michael Jeffrey Jordan goated Kobe Bean Bryant. And the reason why we saw that is because that Washington Wizards game versus the Los Angeles Lakers, Kobe Bryant dropped 55 in the first half. And see, you guys have to understand why that game was so reminiscent and why these two guys are considered the NBA GOATs and why these two guys are the most complete package basketball players the NBA's ever seen. Once Kevin Durant comes back and he does his 3-year reign and he starts dominating and he starts returning the natural order of basketball, then I can put him in the same categories with these guys, but I can't do that yet. And it would be a disservice and it would be a disrespect, and I would have to relinquish my own basketball license if I were to do some fuck shit like that, but I'm not going to do that. When we look at Michael Jordan, we look at Kobe Bryant, it's like looking at Beethoven and Picasso. These guys have basically mastered the game. It's like what Dwayne Wade said, OGs of basketball. That was some real G, some super real G, and some ultimate real G shit out here in these basketball streets that Dwayne Wade said. That these guys are OGs because they mastered the game of basketball. And when Dwayne Wade said that, he said that from an emphatic standpoint. He said that from a standpoint that made all of the sense in the damn world. These guys have mastered the game. There's not much you can say about them. Matter of fact, there's no weaknesses in their games. And what Kobe Bryant had to explain to MJ, because MJ was talking shit. See, people have to understand. Lest you forget. Lest I have to remind your asses. Let me say it again. Lest you forget. Lest I have to remind your asses. Gilbert Arenas talked about this story, right? And he was on JJ Redick's podcast, right? And I like the story that he told. He said Michael Jordan basically got on Kobe, dog. And it hit Kobe. It dinged him. It's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, when Hino's Sport has his Double Dragon True Alpha spat with Tom Ross. There's moments where I ding his ass. You know what I'm saying? And he come back and ding me back. But it's friendly fucking fire. Nevertheless. Because that's how we roll. We roll in friendly fucking fire. Right? To my Michael Jordan, to his Kobe Bryant ways. But when I drop that MJ on his ass and it's a ding, he come back and drop that KB24, right? Well, that's the instance here. Michael Jeffrey Jordan said to Kobe Bryant, "You can never tie my fucking shoes." And I'm paraphrasing the shit, though. Basically, what he was telling Kobe Bryant was, "You would never be on my fucking level." That's probably some shit I would say to Tom Ross, though. And watch him come back and try to come back in Double Dragon's True Alpha form. That's what Kobe Bryant did. Kobe Bryant took that shit and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna burn that shit up." Just like a Tom Ross, I'm gonna burn that fucking shit up. Because now it's about, it's not just about your greatness personification being checked here. It's about your manhood being checked right now. Now you have to answer the fucking bell. And see, what people don't understand is alphas are always literally under the fucking gun. Let me say it again. Alphas are always literally under the fucking gun. Like, we always are under fucking pressure. And when we see something in somebody else that's a translucent image or transparent image of ourselves, or is a heir apparent, or is a mirrored image of ourselves, we challenge the fuck out of their ass. Just like Michael Jordan challenged the fuck out of Kobe Bryant. This is the challenge that I give Tom Ross all the fucking time. Because this is what I am. I'm a competitor extraordinaire. So I'm going to challenge the fuck out of your ass. Especially when I see greatness personification out of you, I'm going to challenge it so it can come out. Because here's the thing about competing at this level. When you're competing at this level, you got to challenge people. Because what happens is it's an iron sharpening iron. Because when you challenge people, it's actually challenging you. When Jordan said that, he was also challenging himself. It wasn't just for Kobe. See, that's what people don't understand. This is why when I do some shit like this with Tom Ross, it's me challenging him. Because I know he gives great content. I know that he is a great content creator on YouTube. So I'm always challenging him to stay to that pedigree, to stay to that level, to stay to that ability. And hence it makes me rise to the occasion and stay to my level and stay to my ability. See, and I could say this. When men are men with confidence, purpose, and an abundance mindset, it's okay for them to say these things and admit these things. Because when you met somebody that is a translucent image, that is a transparent image, greatness personification has to push greatness for personification. And that's what happened in this instance. Michael Jeffrey Jordan pushed fucking Kobe Bryant when he said, you can't tie my fucking shoes. Meaning, you will never be able to lace up these fucking shoes. Meaning, you will never be as fucking great as me. Now, Michael Jordan was doing that to get a rise out of Kobe. And that's exactly what he got. He got 55 in the first half on that ass. Kobe Bryant dropped him. And the drop that Kobe Bryant did, people don't understand the metaphor behind that. That was Kobe Bryant's way of saying your ass is old, you're crusty, out with the old and in with the fucking new. Let me say it again. Your ass is old, your ass is crusty, out with the old and in with the fucking new. That game was Kobe Bryant's way of saying, I'm the one that runs this league. This is my fucking league. You need to step fucking back. You're too old now. You're crusty now. Now, obviously, that's not the case with he knows and Tom Ross, because he knows it's still that MJ23 running for that second three-peat. So that's what that's going to be. But the bottom line is this. That's what happened in that instance with Michael Jeffrey Jordan and Kobe B. Bryant. It was that instance where Jordan wanted to pass the GOAT to Kobe, but he had to make sure that Kobe was ready for that shit. So Jordan had to push Kobe. See, this is what people have to understand. When you're bestowing something upon somebody and you're seeing something in somebody, you're going to push that motherfucker. And a lot of times they won't even understand the push. Sometimes they'll get even irritated by the push. But later on, they'll realize the bigger picture of why you did it. It's because you saw something in that person. That's what Jordan did to Kobe Bryant. And at that moment, Kobe didn't get it because Kobe was just burnt the fuck up. He was pissed, and Kobe Bryant just wanted to lash MJ right back the fuck up. Because he was like, nah, you ain't gonna tell me no fuck shit like that. But Jordan was prepping Kobe. Because if I'm gonna goat your ass, if I'm gonna goat you, then I gotta prepare you for what the GOAT title is all about. I drop gems and jewels, man, like a turkey. Gobble that shit up. If I'm gonna goat you, then I have to prepare you for everything that comes with the GOAT title. And that's what MJ did. Because MJ knew that was his last season. And he knew Kobe Bryant was that dude. But he had to make sure that Kobe Bryant was ready. And that's why you saw in the All-Star game, when Michael Jordan goated Kobe Bryant and he passed the torch, he said, operative word, the league is in great hands. And who did he start out with? He said the league is in great hands with Kobe Bryant. Go back and look at the All-Star game. You'll see what I'm talking about. That was the moment when Michael Jeffrey Jordan goated Kobe B. Bryant. He said the league is in great hands with Kobe Bryant, and then he mentioned all of the other players. Meaning Kobe Bryant was going to lead the charge from that point on. So see, when you see greatness personification in another person, you're going to push them. Even if it's the weirdest way, even if it's mad scientists, you're going to push them in a way to where a lot of times they got to get out of their comfort zone. Because you see something in them to where you have to push them. This is what he knows does with Tom Ross, and he's going to continue to do it with Tom Ross. Don't fucking matter if Tom Ross gets annoyed by it. Because when greatness personification sees greatness personification, then greatness personification will push greatness personification. That's the cold-hearted, that's the unadulterated, and that's the cutthroat true kind of fashion. MJ saw that golden status on Kobe Bryant, and he had to engineer it and force it out of his ass. Just like Hino Sports sees greatness personification in Tom Ross, he had to engineer it and force it out of his fucking ass. That's the cold-hearted, that's the unadulterated, and that's the cutthroat true tell of fashion. This is Hino Sport. Check it out.